Now, police could soon have new powers to move on gypsies and travellers camped on land without permission. New laws making their way through Parliament would mean fines or imprisonment. Critics say the legislation puts gypsies and travellers in an impossible situation where they're committing a crime by simply having nowhere else to go.
None of us really want to go onto a school field, but if there's nowhere else to go and you've got children and you've got to go that night, where can you go?
But I think there's an element of them having to be nomadic because they were tolerated in places for a certain period of time and then effectively forced to move on.
It was always very kind of obvious to me that the biggest reason why people hated us in the way that they did was because of the media perception. So I became a journalist because I wanted to change that.
There's all this legislation and racism and hate and educational outcomes, but I really wish this wasn't needed. I wish I could just go back to just be a florist.
An activist, you're there to advocate on behalf of your community. A journalist, you're there to inquire into the truth. Now, I happen to think that in this situation, there isn't that much conflict because the truth is that there is a bill that is trying to wipe out gypsy and traveller lives. Failure to leave the said land is an offence. A person found guilty of an offence is liable
We're going to be
a fine of £1,000.
dealing with homeless gypsies and travellers in a way which means that we can just take away everything they've got, leave them destitute. They'll have their home seat. It beggars belief, it really does.
There's a very old gypsy saying which is, there's no shame in losing, the only shame is in not turning up for the fight. And I'm going to turn up for the fight.
I don't want to live in a caravan all my life, but they do, and they have a right to respect for that tradition.
We will not be walking into the history books. We are not going into the history books.
Because it's not really about the travelling, it's about the family, it's about the connection with each other and the landscape. You know, I automatically feel more relaxed, happier when I'm out and about amongst my own people, but under a big sky, not fenced in.